Ratites, presented and written by Rhiannon Green, James Fleetwood and Ed Bignell, based on our October visit to the Oxford Museum of Natural History. All modern birds lie within the crown group Aves, which has two infraclasses, Palaeognathae, flightless, and Neognathai, flight. You can identify a Palaeognathai by their lack of a keel and the fact that they cannot fly. However, a common misconception is that all ratites are flightless birds, but not all flightless birds are ratites. For example, penguins and the kakapo are not ratites. There are currently 5 recognised groups classified as being ratites, containing about 14 species. These being the ostrich, the emu, the rhea, the cassowary, and the kiwi. The distribution of these groups is almost exclusively within the Southern Hemisphere, as they're only found within South America, Africa, Australia, and the Pacific Islands and New Zealand. Flightlessness evolved individually many times, with the main analysis of genomes coming from Tim Sackton and Scott Edwards showing a wide variety in protein coding for each species. However, the same regulatory pathways in evolving flight loss have been found. The main factors that cause birds to lose their ability to fly are a reduction in forelimbs and the loss of a keel in the breastbone, where flight muscles are anchored. Environmental factors may involve a lack of predators, a lack of potential nesting sites up high. Island rule is a concept that was named and coined by J. Bristol Foster in 1964. It follows the idea that species isolated on islands will undergo size changes. These are usually down to limited resources or a lack of gene flow, with new traits not being able to enter the population due to its isolation, and mutations that result in size changes being able to spread and become prevalent within the community. Carnivores and larger animals tend to experience dwarfism due to limited resources and the fact that a smaller size will typically mean that it is easier for them to survive, relying on less resources, which improves their chances of survival with the scarcity. While smaller animals, such as rodents, are more likely to experience gigantism. This is because they may be better adapted for the environment, and a lack of competitors for their resources means that they're able to increase their maximum size. It's been suggested through the work of T. Matthews that species who have undergone island rule are more likely to go extinct. A potential reason for this is that because they are so adapted to their current environment, changes may be harder to adapt to and cope with. An example of this can be seen with the moa or the elephant bird, both of which were driven to extinction by new changes within their environment, such as habitat loss or hunting.
Lineage. There are several lineage trees from Palaeognathae, so we decided to use the most up-to-date one from 2020. Palaeognathae are the most ancient lineage of modern birds and are considered to be close living relatives of certain, but not all, avian dinosaurs. These can be found in the Menoraptorian group, such as Dromaeosauridae, Troodontidae, Oviraptorsauria, and Pheroxenosauria. This is because similarities can be found in their foot structure. Ratites retained many fundamental anatomical and functional foot traits from their theropod ancestors. This can be seen by the joint articulations and morphology of the hind limbs. Both groups show the same pedal, which is the foot, phalangeal formula of 2, 3, 4, 5. This means 2 phalanges in the hallux, which is the big toe, 3 in the second toe, 4 in the third toe, and 5 in the fourth. Elephant birds. Elephant birds are a species of ratite from Madagascar, which has been extinct since at least the 17th century, based on the evidence collected between the 1830s and 1840s, when European travellers saw remains of giant eggs and eggshells. British travellers in particular were more willing to believe the accounts due to their knowledge of the moa in New Zealand, in which they believed to be linked. Due to the separation of Madagascar from the African mainland prior to the Ratite lineage evolving, elephant birds are thought to have become massive and flightless in situ, unlike their relative, the moa. There were 3 species, Aepyornis maximus, Aepyornis hildebrandt, and Mulleriornis modestus. Aepyornis maximus is believed to have been the largest. Due to their size and the mass of their leg bones, they were believed to have had a rather slow locomotion and movement. But it was possible, based on the analysing of muscles around their legs, that they could have been capable of large bursts of speed when threatened. They were probably mixed feeders, with about 48% grazing, and their large neck could have been used to reach high foliage and possibly to reach coconuts, which they may have been adapted to eat. They are believed to have become extinct indirectly due to human activity, such as burning forests into grassland for farming. Humans, in fact, rarely hunted elephant birds, mostly due to their size. However, it is possible that they hunted smaller elephant birds, though this is disputed because they did take about several years to reach full maturity.
Kiwis are the smallest ratites in the world and are native to New Zealand. Just like elephant birds, all 5 species live in forest lands and dense vegetation. Up to 20% of a female's body is an egg, which is the largest in comparison to the body of any bird in the world. They also only produce 1 egg per season. Kiwis have wings, but they are very small, which makes them hard to see. Kiwi bones have bone marrow and are not hollow like every other bird. Interestingly, they do not rely completely on vision, as their bill can detect food in front of them, with some individuals found to be completely blind. They are thought to be nocturnal due to the arrival of new predators. Kiwis are under threat due to invasive species such as weasels, ferrets, cats and rats. The kiwi has also become the icon of New Zealand. The Maori tribes used to hunt kiwi birds as they believed they were under the protection of Tain Mahuta, the god of the forest, so their feathers were used to create ceremonial cloaks worn by the chieftains. However, in recent years, the Maori tribes have started to help lead conservation projects to help increase the kiwi population. It is disputed whether moa and other ratites were polythetic, meaning they evolved from multiple lines but were similar due to the environment. They arrived in New Zealand differently from kiwis and have noticeable genetic similarities to tinamous, partridge-like birds from South America. Their name originates from the Polynesian word for fowl. They became extinct between the 17th to 19th centuries due to humans hunting them. They were primarily grazers, and their skeletal remains suggest they also ate seeds, fruit and leaves. Their size ranges from a turkey to an ostrich, and they weigh around 250 kilograms. It is believed that moa may have taken around 10 years to reach full size. They also laid only 1 large egg in hollows in the ground. All 5 of the living species of ratites have different threats based on where they live. However, they all have similar crossovers, including habitat loss, hunting, invasive species, and climate change.